just dwelt as the stalls opened for the 2022 Jubbont International and gave away 3 or 4 lengths to his rivals. Now the pace is coming from high definition, and he's sent into an early advantage by Ryan Moore. Mishrif, who broke much better today, it was a good sign, racing in second place, 3 lengths down on the leader. He in turn is about 2.5 to 3 lengths clear of Native Trail and Dubai Honor on the inside. Baaeed at this stage is in 5th place. The only horse behind him is Sabuska, who's playing catch-up as the runners head down the far side of the Naves Mark. Looks to be a pretty good gallop being set here by Ryan Moore as they go past the 7 furlong marker on the far side. High definition up then by about 4 lengths now. Last year's brilliant winner Mishrif racing in 2nd place. 2.5 lengths away then to Native Trail, the 3-year-old in 3rd, followed by Dubai Honor, and his stable companion Baaeed is just on his flanks on the outside. Baaeed defending this unbeaten record and stepping up to 10.5 furlongs today. He's got 1 behind him, that'll be Sabuska, who won the York Stakes here last time. So they're about to turn in to the home straight in the 2022 Jubbont International, and Ryan is pressing on here on high definition, trying to just gain more momentum here on that bend. Leads by about 6 lengths then. Mishrif in 2nd for James Doyle. Then in 3rd on the inside, Dubai Honor making ground, Native Trail. And now between horses, Baaeed is picking up on the bridle under Jim Crowley as the runners head down now to the final 2.5 furlongs. Unknown territory from here on in for Baaeed as he eases into contention. Mishrif has struck the front. Mishrif going on here as they race down towards the final furlong and a half. Jim Crowley's hardly moving on Baaeed. Now he's asking him to pick up this leader, and the response is instantaneous, and Baaeed gallops past Mishrif and goes on inside the final furlong. That was really impressive, and Jim Crowley's looking round here, and this is going to be brilliant. There's no question he loves the distance, and it's a perfect 10 for Baaeed in the Jubbont. Wow, he's won by 6 lengths. Mishrif in 2nd, Sabuska close again with Dubai Honor for 3rd, followed home by Native Trail and High Definition.
Applause rings around the Knavesmire as the crowd hail what can now be considered one of the modern greats. Brilliant Baaeed is a perfect 10. This was the day that threatened to define his career. That it has done. Could he be even better at this distance than he was at a mile? Yes, he could. Crowley has barely moved a muscle, allowed him to slide through the gears effortlessly. Did he even reach top gear? No, he has defeated last year's hero Mishrif, last year's runaway winner Mishrif, in devastating fashion. Mishrif himself back to something like his best, but no answer to Baaeed. Something old has been vanquished by something new in Baaeed's attempt to be as brilliant at 10 furlongs as he was at a mile. He has answered every question today. Wonderful performance, Martin.
Now we can start making the comparisons with Frankel. That was extraordinary. It was a fantastic performance, easily the best effort of his career. There is no doubt he's threatened to produce this sort of performance with what he's done over a mile, but the race teed up perfectly. Ryan Moore was on a proven strong stayer in High Definition. He set out to make the race a thorough test to the advantage, in the hope that was to the advantage of his horse, but in the end it just teed it up for what was a fantastic performance, as I say, from Baaeed, and to keep on doing and pouring it on as he did through that final furlong, having tanked all over them to the 2-pole, was outstanding.
6.5 lengths between Baaeed and Mishrif. Mishrif today, bullet from a gun out of the stalls. No such laziness that beset his performances after a fashion at Sandown and then at Ascot. He was back on point, but no answer at all to Baaeed, the son of See the Stars himself, one of the very best winners of this race. Frankel, the best winner of this race, but this horse today deserves to be mentioned right up there amongst the modern greats.
He really does, Nick. You think Mishrif has ran to the top of his form, and I think he has as well. This is an ultra impressive performance. He looked away second, he went through the race. The key point of the race, though, Jim Crowley was confident to go between Native Trail and another rival to get into the race. He didn't play it safe and go around the field. There was a moment just when he let him go, you think, will he pick up, and then when he did get going, he finished off strongly. Some performance.
William Haggas is with Tom.
William Haggas has just seen Baaeed. Well, he's taking his lap of honour now, William, and I saw you watched it on your own with binoculars out. How do you feel, William?
Oh, well, I'm pleased, relieved. That was fabulous, wasn't it? And he may have answered the critics, or those few who criticised it.
He doesn't win by far, they said. He did then.
Yeah, he was good today. He was cantering, wasn't he? Cantering. And the best bit, Jim, was when he went through between them. Didn't light the horse up, and just a good horse. Just lucky.
Did you have any doubt, William, about the distance?
Not really. No, I've always fancied it. So we'll see.
And now just felt like the right time, and if you can allow yourself to look ahead, I know we're in the immediate aftermath, but what's the gut feeling about what you do?
He'll be champion, I would think, champion stakes now. Okay. I would think. He stays, travels, I would think, for sure. Please do, he's a very special horse.
Well done.
Thank you.
William Haggas, who has been through the emotional ringer, particularly in the last fortnight. He sounds almost drained, elated, I'm sure, inside, and very proud of his horse, but it must have been a significant ordeal in the run-up to this race, and there he is, allowing himself a few moments to celebrate and enjoy the horse coming back in with Richard Hills and Angus Gold. Two men have been so instrumental in the formation and continuation of Shadwell, the stable that's now headed by Sheikh Hissa, daughter of the late Sheikh Hamdan, and how proud Sheikh Hamdan would have been of the breeding legacy that has produced this wonderful animal, and related himself to his previous winner of this race, Nayef, descending from his Golden Goose height of fashion. He's a perfect racehorse, beautifully bred, beautifully trained, beautifully ridden, though it was straightforward, Martin.
Well, all of it seems straightforward, doesn't it, in terms of the tactics and the preparation, but it's not straightforward to get horses to produce this calibre of performance, and the path that they've plotted right the way through his career from day one really has been exemplary, hasn't it, to get to this point. If they'd have rushed him sooner, he may not have got to this point now that we're seeing. Well, it is a truly outstanding performance. Mishrif has got the rest of them beaten hollow. Hard to argue at least that he's not very close to something like his mid-120s rating that he's produced before, and Baaeed obviously is out on his own.
William Haggas has never deviated from this season's intended course. The 3 Group 1s over a mile, followed by this race, and then the Champion Stakes at Ascot. But you do wonder, given how hard he's hit the line here, given how dominant he is, given how he is at a completely different sphere to any other racehorse in Europe, you do wonder whether the race that made his sire, the Arc de Triomphe, might not come into consideration.
You definitely have to think about Nick. The way he went to the line here today, he relaxed lovely. He didn't get a lot of cover early on the long run into the straight, but I loved the way when Jim put him in between horses, the way he jumped onto the bridle. Very reminiscent of his sire when he set light, and then when he gets there, he doesn't appear to do a lot, but today, over that extended distance, he just went further and further clear. Proper performance. If he wasn't so valuable to Shadwell Corporation in the future stallion, I think he'd definitely go into the Arc, but he might play it safer to keep Glasgow.
Well, this horse has surely done enough in winning his 6 straight Group 1s and his 10 straight races and producing brilliant performance after brilliant performance than this, that it really matters not a jot where he goes from now on in his reputation is surely secure.
I think you're right that this is the performance that at this stage at least defines his career. From this point on, you want to see more again, you want to see more increased tests like we've seen today that increase the excitement and the anticipation that top class sport is all about.
And this was the race today that gave you goosebumps in the lead up to it. You were just so excited about what might happen, and he delivered, and he delivered in spades, and he's getting a wonderful reception here. Sheikh Hissa there leading in Baaeed. What a legacy Sheikh Hamdan left. And even though the operation has been heavily scaled back and heavily cut down, there are still horses of brilliant talent out there, and the riders in these royal blue and white silks. Jim Crowley, I'd imagine when he won the Sussex Stakes for Marcus Tregonning a couple of years ago on Mahathir, he probably thought, yeah, that's what I got this job to do. I doubt he realised there was another one waiting in the wings who'd be even better.
And how good was he, Nick? The way he's progressed, the way he's been campaigned. Debut Leicester, he's drawn wide, he scrambled home, but just since then it's just getting better and better. And we'd love to see him again, wouldn't we? And maybe that mile and a half might come into people's minds near the time.
Don't forget, of course, Crowley's also ridden Batash in these silks before this fella, the highest rated horse to to run for Shadwell in the last couple of decades. What a talent Baaeed is. Let's take it from the stalls, and Mishrif, bang, right out. You knew he was on song today.
He was right on point. Sabuska Lesser, slow out in the stalls, gave himself plenty to do. But this is a point here, you can see the intentions from Moore from the outset. He drives high definition along to get into a clear advantage. He wants to make the race a test. He's on a thorough stay. The only chance that he had was to outstay them rather than outclass them. He tried to do it, he's not good enough.
Never underestimate Aidan O'Brien's part in testing horses. He did it with See the Stars all the way through his championship season, chucking good horse after good horse after good horse at him. Now, he didn't have a Rip Van Winkle or a Fame and Glory or a Master Craftsman to throw in Baaeed's way today. He had a relative outsider in high definition, but there is no way, if you're up against Ballydoyle, you are ever going to get a cheap Group 1.
Definitely not, and what Aidan O'Brien nearly done when trying to get this horse to win Tarasol's Gold Cup was remarkable, because he's just not quick enough for a mile and quarter Group 1 racing, and this track definitely wouldn't play to his strength, but it put pace to the race. Mishrif, at least he came out of gates in terms of he raced enthusiastically back at a track that he really enjoys, and if he ran to his level, how good was the winner?
That was a wonderful performance. 6 1/4 lengths, the official winning margin, and certainly not stopping when he hit the line. I haven't got an official time yet on this race. Native Trail, it was a rather laborious performance, I thought, from him.
It was really, wasn't it? Yeah, he was labouring a good way out, but I think that is testament to the fact that they've gone pretty hard here. And really, the only two horses that were comfortable with the pace from a long way from home were Mishrif, a proven top-class multiple Group 1 winner, and then the sensational Baaeed, who takes Mishrif as he likes on the outside, and that's the really impressive part. And I think it was good for the race that high definition was in there. It was good for the race that he opted for those tactics to open the race up from an early stage that ultimately allowed us to see just how good Baaeed can be.
It's not a particularly quick time, 2:09:30. Baaeed stopped the clock. On officially good ground with some good to firm in it. The last 3 runnings of this race have taken place on ground described as good, and they were all significantly quicker than that, but we'll try and take a deeper dive into the significance of that shortly. That's a lovely shot there. Jim Crowley and his 2 predecessors in the role, Richard Hills and Willie Carson, all here today. Let's join Lydia. I don't hear anything.
We will, of course, get to Lydia after the race, but plenty going on, of course, in the winners' enclosure there. That was awesome, and then some. Baaeed 2-5 favourite has won over 10 furlongs, has made it 10 from 10 for the career. Jim Crowley, William Haggas. I think the significance of that win is so much depth to it. I think William Haggas as well now tops the Trainers' Championship as well. Mishrif 4-1, last year's winner, vanquished 6 1/2 lengths the winning margin. Baaeed simply brilliant, and that time 2:09:30.